Kim Jong-un threatens Guam after President Trump's threat of fire and fury. Joining us now, Lieutenant General Thomas McEnery. Right from the get-go, General, what should President Trump be doing right now?
Well, right now, Stuart, he ought to be preparing for war for the next 6 months to a year. He has that much time. And what he ought to do, and I liken this to when I was a young lieutenant, and I went down to Key West during the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 days before the President Kennedy announced it to the world. This is President Trump's Cuban Missile Crisis. It's a Korean Missile Crisis, and he should handle it accordingly. I would immediately, if I was the President, recall the Congress and get them to pass a 2018 defense bill. We need that right away. We cannot be delayed. We cannot have a continuing resolution. I would then politically create a Pacific Area Treaty Organization just like we have in Europe, in NATO, because we must not only counter the North Koreans but the Chinese. Remember, the Chinese are the ones that have created this monster in North Korea, so we cannot expect any help from them. I'm from the John Bolton School of Diplomacy. They are not going to help us, so we must do it ourselves.
Do you think that the people of the United States would accept going into war in Asia rather than accepting North Korea as a nuclear power?
I think they will. When you listen to what Kim Jong-un said yesterday about attacking Guam with nuclear weapons, and the only nation that he will attack are U.S. cities, we have no choice. It's not whether America wants to. This president has been given this deck of cards, and it's not a good deck. So he's got to do it, and I believe the American people will support him. And we do have the ability, despite what John Songbird McCain said, we do have the ability to do it. It's going to be a combination of conventional and nuclear if we have to retaliate.
But the first step would presumably be we shoot down their next missile launch. Would that be the first step, and would that be an act of war?
We may or may not do that. The fact is there are other things we can do. I would build up our offensive capabilities, our retaliatory capabilities, as I said, both nuclear and conventional. We use nuclear capabilities. If they fire one round on Seoul, we destroy in 5 minutes, because we have an airborne alert with cruise missiles that we can take out that artillery right away. We don't want to do it, but we will retaliate that. We can take out that artillery today with conventional weapons. I liken to 1,000 cruise missiles in the air at one time, over 200 stealth aircraft attacking. We can do that. We have that capability, and we need 6 months to a year to do it, and that's how much time we have. But we must be prepared to do this, and I believe the American people will do it, just like the American people backed President Kennedy during the Cuban Missile Crisis. I remember it. I was flying over the island. So this is what we are faced with. He didn't ask for this, and the nation does not need it now. But these are the cards he's being dealt.
Okay. General Thomas McEnery, always strong stuff, and you delivered again today. Thank you, General. We appreciate you being with us.
Thanks, Stuart.
Yes, sir.